Your life.
Hello everyone, I am Aishu Peja, Assistant Program Manager at Incubatia. I'm glad to welcome all of you all for the world's biggest mental health camp presented by Incubatia. I would like to welcome all our collaborators. Some of them include Rotary Club of Delhi Femina, Rotary Club of Faridabad Sanskar, NSS Bhavans College, Youth Empowerment Foundation, Bharati Vidya Bhavan. Some of our international collaborators include Rotary Club of Banai Avenue, Rotary Club of Karachi Avenue, Life Without Sight, The Innovators. I would also like to welcome our panelist, Avni ma'am, Avni Prasad. She's graduated from SRCC. She's a sexual abuse and mental health activist and certified life coach and founder of Sadhan. Priyanka Jain, he's an influencer and a change maker. He has completed his graduation in BA honors from Maharaja Agrasen. He has an electrifying persona when it comes to self improvement. The next is Faiza ma'am. She's a certified coach, hypnosis, counselor, trainer, and a social worker. Her mission is to help transform the lives of others by supporting and giving back to the society. I would also like to welcome our one and only founder, Mr. Musab Khan. Sir, it's all on you.
Yeah, hey Ayushi, thank you for that introduction, and we're all looking forward to seeing how this year goes. So, as you all know, we're all gathered here today with all of these amazing speakers to be able to discuss a very underlying matter, which is mental health. So, without further ado, I'm going to start a discussion and go on to, let's start with some of the basics with what is mental health. And I would like Avni ma'am to go through this particular topic and explain to us what is mental health. How do you define a person to be mentally healthy? Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I hope all of you are doing good. So, whenever we hear the term mental health, we try to tell each other, we don't need to talk about it. But it's very weird because all of us have mental health. We have mental health. Mental health is a continuum, it goes from anxiety till thriving and your true potential. So every day we are in that entire chain of it. So mental illness is a part of mental health, right? So mental health is defined as psychological, social, and emotional well being. So if you're feeling good, if you are reacting in a good way, so that is something we look for in a mentally well individual, when you can harness your true potential, when you can work towards your goal, when you can thrive towards the goal. So that is something which is known as a mentally healthy individual. So mental health is not a very narrow term. See it as a very broad term. It is a continuum, and every day we move from one place to another. Someday we are sad, someday we are okay, someday we are little more stressed, someday we are anxious. So that is all part and parcel of mental health. So
Understood. So, is it possible for a person? I would like to direct this to probably Priyanka. Is it possible for a person to move from different phases of mental health and in your experience as a person who actively practices meditation and yoga and really healing the oneself and calmness? What do you see yourself, or is it possible for a person to go from different states of mental health? Priyanka, you might want to unmute.
Definitely, it is possible because see, we are human beings and we have different state of mind at different point of time. When we are happy, we show that to the world. When we are sad, we show that to the world. So basically, what happens is every time, anything happens, any incident happens that gives us a stimulus to our brain, and that's how we react to that situation. That makes us happy, that makes us sad, that makes us anxious, that makes us motivated sometimes. So how so we have the control over our mind. Like meditation gives you that control over your mind because you must be knowing that we use very small percentage of our mind. Our conscious mind that we use in our daily lives is a very small percentage. And if we meditate, if we do certain things, if we do certain breathing practices, we can actually bring our mind to the calm state again. We can focus and we can reprogram, rechannelize what we are thinking, what we are doing, how we are behaving into what we want. So yeah, you can definitely do that.
Thank you for that, Priyankar. That's a great thing, and I'll come back to some of the things that you said about practicing yoga and practicing meditation. I want to get into some of the problems that people face. Avni ma'am, if you could probably tell us how do you define like being depressed, or how do you define being stressed? What is the difference between the two? And can you give us like a self guide to assessing your mental health and when you know that it's deteriorating? Ma'am, unmute yourself.
So we see that a lot of people these days say that I'm depressed today, and this is a very common statement. This has become a very common statement, but there's an issue that people cannot distinguish between stress, anxiety, and depression. So, how to exactly know that you are depressed? So, you are stressed. Stress is caused by real event. For example, you have a exam tomorrow and you are stressed for that particular examination. So, there is a real event which is happening, and your emotional response is stress. Now, what is anxiety? Anxiety is about unreal things, that I am anxious. Like people in COVID are anxious that what if they get COVID? What if they are infected? So, when you are tensed about an unreal thing, it is anxiety. And depression is a prolonged period of stress and anxiety which affects your day to day functioning. Whatever used to give you pleasure is not giving you pleasure anymore, or you are finding difficulties in doing day to day activities. So, when you are experiencing such symptoms, then you should definitely consult a professional for the same.
Understood. Understood. I want to come to Faiza ma'am because she has done a lot of work in this space. And ma'am, according to you, uh, awareness activities that are currently going on in the industry, and what is society's view on mental health, and how can we contribute to changing it?
Okay, hello everybody. I hope you're all doing well. First of all, I want to start with a very simple statement regarding this matter. We can define mental health in a very simple way: how we think, how we behave, how we react, and how we feel. You know, when you are asking about the awareness thing, so the meaning of awareness is the understanding with something, maybe in part or maybe in whole, right? So when we are aware, so we have to do first our self assessment in this regard. Okay, I'm thinking, so I'm thinking or I'm overthinking, right? And if I'm taking things hard, or this task is very simple, but I don't want to do it, you know, and I'm going with my inner limiting belief that I can't do that, and I'm unlucky, and you know what, sleep disorder, so many things. So before we going to the other things, we have to do our self assessment in this regard. Everybody including me as well, right? So how we dealing the routine matters towards others as well, towards ourselves as well. So this is the best thing, and we have to assess it I'm doing react or I'm doing respond, because there is a huge difference between response and react, right? When I'm doing react, so it's mean there is something fishy, there is something who need to address. And when I'm doing that thing properly, so yeah, it's okay. So this is the thing we have to do, more concentrate how we feel, how we react, how we taking things, and that's it. It is a very simple formula.
So, what would be the difference between reacting and responding?
See, when we react mean the reaction, right? You are in angry mood and you are not happy, you are not ready to do anything by heart or with pleasure. And what is respond? Which we giving you when you asking the question and we giving you response. That is the difference.
Musab sir, we can't hear you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inputs. Priyanka, can you answer the same question? According to you, since you're from a entrepreneurial background, according to you, what is the difference between react and response, and what is the main benefit of responding over reacting?
Okay. So basically, what I believe is, whatever happens in your life, how you respond to it creates all the difference. I'll tell you a very short story. So once on a dining table, they were the family sitting, father, mother, and two children. So by chance, all the family members were in rush, and the child spilled the juice on father's clothes. Now the father scolded the child out of reaction. That was not a response to the situation, that was a reaction to the situation. Because the father scolded the child got an upset mood. The father also spoiled his mood, and since he was getting ready, since he was getting late for his meeting, he has to change his clothes. The father is in bad mood. The child is in bad mood. But how the situation has to be, how he should have responded, is basically the father should have said to the child, "It's okay, beta. I'll go and I'll change. You have your breakfast." So that makes all the difference how you respond to the things, because what happens to you is not in your control, but how you respond to it is all in your control. So this is how you need to practice every single day in your life.
That's great. Thank you, Priyanka. Avni, ma'am, what is your view on the same?
Yeah, I would like to agree to Priyankar. And yeah, that is so reaction is something we don't think about. We don't process the consequences it will have on others. And we just showcase our emotions directly. Let us say that I went through a lot of mental issues. So someone who is not understanding, who doesn't know what mental health is, those people, if they are teasing me that I'm going to a psychiatrist and me yelling at them would be a reaction. So now in the same situation, I can think like, okay, if I ask an engineer to design a cloth, he is not into fashion designing, he cannot design a cloth. So maybe that person is not educated enough to understand mental illness. So let us be calm and okay. So that is my response to the situation. I analyze the situation and I know that there is no point in reacting that way because the person is not equipped with those knowledge to treat you in that way. So that is the difference between a reaction and a respond. A respond is a more thoughtful choice to make, and a reaction is what automatically comes out.
So you're saying that a reaction is much of an impulsive,
Yeah, it's more of an
impulsive
yeah,
action,
and yeah,
and a response is a thoughtful process.
yeah.
That's a great way of putting it. And I want to take it. We have such great speakers here, and everybody is basically from a diverse background in terms of work. How do you practice this in your daily work? How do you practice this in your industry? Uh, Anybody can take the stage.
Okay, so for me individually, I would like to say that when I deal with child sexual abuse and mental health. So me being a girl, I'm from Ranchi, which is a town in Jharkhand. So people are not very aware about mental health, unlike the metropolitan cities. So when I took up the initiative to bring it to the platform, when I decided to share my stories, my parents were like, there are people to take care of it. You don't need to just stand up and do everything to improve the society.
You
Whatever
don't need to
story,
take the stand. You don't
yeah.
need to publicize
So
it.
why do you they were like that, why do you want to bring up your story to the public so that anyone can bully you? So in
Hmm.
that case, if I would have just confronted and taken back my idea, that would be me reacting to that situation. Other than that, what I did was I continued with my process, and with the responses I got, with everything, with the changes they saw and the life that I could affect, like in a positive way. Even they understood that why I'm taking this stance. So today they are also supporting me in this particular work. So that is how the reaction and response can create a great difference.
That's great, ma'am, and it's very inspirational to see that that response has gotten you so far. Does anybody else want to share anything? Um,
Yes.
any? Yeah, Priyanka.
So I would like to share a small incident from my personal life. I started
Yeah.
my entrepreneurial journey when I was 19. So when I was starting it out, when I was in college, most of the people around me were telling me, you don't have to do that. Just go and enjoy your college life. Just do these things, do that thing. But you know what happens is basically when you choose something for yourself, you need to go for it, irrespective of what people say to you. That is the one thing. Second thing, as Musab asked, how we can practice it in our daily lives, because it is very difficult. Because reaction is something which is, kind of a reflex action, which happens automatically. We don't choose to do that. How we can practice this? Basically, you need to do meditations. You need to calm your breath. You need to calm your mind, because a calm mind can take control of the situation. If you yourself is not, in a mess, if your mental health is in a mess, if you're worried about everyday problems, if you're worried about your future, if you're worried because of your past, and if you're worried in your present, you cannot take every single day as a positive one. You cannot be productive in that particular day. You cannot control your mind in that particular day, in that particular moment
Priyanka,
as well.
could you perhaps give the audience one simple exercise that they can practice, probably on a consistent basis?
Okay. So what I used to practice is basically, you know, people think meditation is very difficult. It's not difficult. It's very simple actually. You don't have to do much in that. Just sit anywhere you like. You can sit on your bed. You can sit on the chair. You can sit on the floor. Wherever you feel comfortable. Just sit there, cross your legs, and place your palms on your lap, and just focus on your breathing. Now, people tell me that we don't have to let our thoughts come in. You have to let that, you should not control your thoughts basically. Let those thoughts come in. Analyze those thoughts. See what you are thinking, what your mind thinks. This is one way of exercising meditation. When you analyze what's your, you know, thinking pattern is, if you are a positive thinker or if you are a negative thinker. So this is one way. Another way you can do is whenever you find any thought coming and you are practice breathing, whenever you see any thought distracting your mind, distracting you from focusing on your breathing, just bring back your mind to your breathing. That is a conscious effort it takes initially, but you will get habitual to it, gradually with the practice. And this is how you will calm your mind. This is how you'll calm your senses. This is how you stop reacting to situations and start responding to it. And how you need to breathe is basically take 5 counts and inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Then hold for 2 to 3 seconds. And then exhale in those 5 counts. Again, initially you have to do it like this. Gradually, since you'll practice it on a daily basis, you'll get into habit. So this is how you can calm your mind.
That's a great method. Um, I want everybody who is currently, who is currently viewing our feed to try practicing especially what Priyanka said, the 5 count breathing technique. Inhale for 5 seconds, hold for two, and let go. So that's a great way of really calming yourself. And the next thing that I really want to address is maybe social bullying, because how you spend your time online right now has become more important than ever due to the pandemic. Everybody has so much free time on their hand. Uh, what do you recommend as field experts in mental health? What do you recommend people do online? And if they're facing any type of cyberbullying or negative commenting or abusive people online, uh, how should they counter that? Any views on that? Um, Faiza ma'am, would you like to?
Well, I want to say one thing here. First of all, we have to realize what is controllable thing and what is uncontrollable thing in our life, right? Maybe it's in daily routine as well, maybe it's at our workplace as well, maybe it's on daily life as well. So whenever we can ascertain this thing is controllable and this thing is not controllable, to do not to waste your positive energy and time on this thing which is not controllable, right? And do focus and do your best which is controllable thing. Same thing is like our thinking process, what's our thinking process, or what is the best our positive thinking procedure is that whenever we going to deal anything, so we have to assert it, this thing is controllable in this matter and this thing is not controllable is this matter, so it's okay. This is not controllable, I can't do it, but this is controllable, what I can do my best in it, I'll do it. So with this thinking, with this calmness, we can more can do our focus towards the things, and the bullying thing and the social anxiety and the stress and all this thing, we can keep us safe from all these things. So this is very important, how our thought process is working, and we are the one who can do it best.
That's great. That's great, ma'am.
I
Does
would like to
anybody
add
else
something.
want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Priyanka.
So since I'm from journalism background, I know like how that social media content consumes us. And since the pandemic is going on, all of us are on social media all the time. What you need to choose is what you watch. Like in last 3 or 4 months, I have seriously, I have not gone through any news. I've just gone through the basics of news, what's going on in the market. I've not watched any single news because I know that will disturb my mental. You need to choose what kind of quality content you're going to consume. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of uncles, in fact, watching Crime Patrol all the day, and you might be seeing such people around, or watching all the negative dramas, all the fights and all that type. You don't have to watch that because what you consume as per the content, start believing into that. That's hypodermic needle theory in journalism. Because when one thing is going into your head again and again and again and again, it will impact your head. So this is how you can see what kind of content you need to watch. For example, you can watch the podcast. There are so many good podcasts going on. Currently, I'm watching personally the Ranveer show. If you have heard of it, you can watch such content where you get a lot of positivity. And how to avoid the social media trolls, basically, no matter what, how good you are, how bad you are, what kind of content you are putting out on your social media, people are going to comment on that. Avoid that. Just don't see to that. Right? That's it.
That is a great tip to give everybody. Manage your social media like you're managing what is currently, what do you call it? What is currently your priority? That would be the best way to say it. So I want to request everybody who's currently watching to feel free to ask questions in the chat. We do have the chat open, and our speakers can also see the chat, so they can probably answer your questions as well. So yeah, we're almost hitting the 30-minute mark, and the last topic that I want to hit on is how do you think society will evolve from this pandemic? Because the current situation is that we're socially distant from everybody. So keeping social distancing, keeping the virtualization of everything, of virtualization of college, virtualization of work, virtualization of so many of these different aspects of our life, keeping that into mind, keeping social distancing into mind, how do we live and how do we maintain our mental health? Um, Anybody who's willing can answer this question. Avni ma'am, if you would
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. So, for me, I would say that because we are so blessed that we have technology to stay connected despite of this pandemic. Like, imagine the world where we have no internet connectivity, and then the pandemic hits, and we cannot even see each other. So the problem is not connectivity because we are already connected in one way or other. The problem is something else. So what is the problem? The problem is from the very beginning, from our childhood, we have been practicing distraction. Whenever we faced any problems or challenges or anything, we tried to shift our focus to somewhere else. We used to go to parties, or we used to call a friend and go on a bike ride or something. So all we have done is distracting ourselves. So, assuming all the people who are attending is from the young generation, like 20, 25, or so, you have practiced distraction for 25 years of your life. So, how are you supposed to be in it? Definitely perfect. So now pandemic has cut down all the sources of distraction. So all you have to do is to focus on your life, to focus on your work, to focus on your enjoyment, and to focus on yourself. And the thing is, no one taught us how to concentrate. Like, we have ample opportunities. We can do a lot of courses that we want in this time. We can work on our habits. Work on our we can attend various webinars. We can do things that we would have never done if the pandemic never hit us in this way. So the thing is, why are people not being able to do that, and why are people stressed? Because they have problem in concentrating to that particular moment. So people should always try to practice concentration. So how can you practice concentration? You can just google the mindfulness activities. Just google the mindfulness activities. You will find a list of activities which, if done on a regular basis, will help your mind to be in the here and the now. So the mind won't drift in the future, won't lag in the past. So you can take out the maximum from the present moment. So that is how you can make use of the underlying currents of opportunity even in the gloom of pandemic. And definitely, once you mold yourself in this way, you will realize that most of your every human has a limited energy, like your money. How you spend money, it keeps on decreasing. So humans have limited energy. So now when the pandemic hit, you realize that a lot of things you were spending your energy on was not at all required. So that is how you learn how to prioritize. That is how you learn how to focus on something which is important to you. So till the pandemic, my suggestion would be to utilize and to fully exploit the underlying current of opportunities, and after it evolve into a better person to who is well focused and who can prioritize to use energy more efficiently.
That is some really great advice. And as the quote goes, that you cannot see your future, and you cannot forget your past. All you can do is live in the present. So that is some amazing advice. And yes, with that, we would like to open the Q&A session. So we have a question from Kaushal. Sir, please take my question. How can I use distraction to manage difficult thoughts? Would anybody like to take this question?
Okay, so Kaushal, okay, so why do you want to run away from the difficult thoughts? Why don't you want to face it head on so that next time you don't get those difficult thoughts? The main motive is the main reason the thought keep coming again and again is because we never faced it head on. We never realize that we are bigger than our thought. That is the reason it keeps on repeating. So as you see, no, as a dog is coming towards you, you start running, the dog starts running behind you, and the moment you stop and face it head on, the dog stops. So that is exactly how a problem or how a difficult thought needs to be managed. You need to harness the energy to fight with the thought, and you need to. There is a thing called as a mood thought and mood thought matrix, whereby you can write your mood and the thoughts, and you can ask few questions that uh, is this something which I can is this something which I can address. So if you can address, there is no need for distraction, you just address the thought. And second is if it's something which is out of my control, so when it's out of your control, you can do nothing about it, so surrender to whoever you believe in. So there are just two possibilities, and you will see that there is no reason to worry about that.
That's some really great advice. And Kaushal says, thanks a lot. And we have Hardik. How to make yourself free from the thought, fear of failure. Priyanka and Faizal, whichever one would like to take the question.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
please go
okay,
on.
Priyanka. It's okay, you can take.
So basically, you don't have to free yourself from fear of failure. It's going to be there. You cannot escape it. It's a part of life. It's a part of journey. It's a part of success. It's a part of everyday struggle that you face. Because every day, whatever you do, right, there are so many things that are out of your control, and they happen. For example, in January or last year, whoever, all those people have started their businesses. None of them have thought of pandemic. None of them. In fact, nobody in the world has thought of pandemic. This thing, which has come. A lot of people has failed, but a lot of people have come over it, have fight through it. So all you need to do is, instead of having a fear from failure, every day, every single day when you get up with a warrior mentality and think, today, whatever comes in front of me, I'll face it and I'll win. I won't back off and I won't run away from it. Because till the time you're here on this planet, on this earth, till the time you're living, you'll have different kind of fears, you'll have different kind of failures. You cannot run away from it. You have to face it. Build yourself every single day, and that's how you can do it.
That's a great answer. My something that I would like to add is the fear of failure. That is what Priyanka said. That's one extent, and that's one way of looking at it. Me personally, I don't think I have the fear of failure, because honestly, if you have an abundant mentality, uh, you have abundance of opportunities, you have abundance of money, you have abundance of whatever it is that is your priority, or whatever you think is success. And if you have the priority that, okay, it's abundant in the world, it just needs to come to me, and whatever I need to do, I just need to focus on my actions, and all of those things will come to me. And if you have that type of a mindset, you don't really have the fear of failure, because you haven't failed, and in a way, because you've succeeded again and again in your head. And building this type of a mentality, I found it very helpful over the years. And I definitely recommend uh, doing more research on abundance, and there's a law of attraction. There's so many things, but they all say the same thing. Think of yourself as you already have it. It just has to come to you. Like, same thing goes with money. Money is nothing but a medium
Can I
that comes and goes. Yeah,
I want
definitely.
to add something.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, okay. I want to add something here. Always face the fear. Okay, fear, failure, this all things beginning with the F. And by the way, my name also is starting with the F, but I'm not afraid with the failure. So always face the fear, and failure is the another name of success, right? Whenever you want to do something and you are just afraid, am I do this thing or not, if I fail then what, so maybe this is your self-limiting belief as well. Just write your goal and make a strategy, what thing you can do better to achieve this goal, right? And if your one plan is fail, it's okay, just change the plan, but don't change your goal, so then you can achieve it. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am. That was
Uh,
a great contribution, and I completely agree. There is an over
I
here.
pitch
I would
in,
like to divert it to
I pitch
some of the
for the
women.
failure thing. Sorry.
Go
Can I
ahead.
pitch in for the failure?
Yes, yes,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah. So, according to me, you need to weigh between two things. So, when you are thinking about failure or anything, you have to weigh between the fear of failure and the fear of guilt. So, now you are consumed in the fear of failure and you're not allocating your energy to do something. So, which will bring guilt. So, a fear of failure is very temporary, and the fear of guilt is something you will carry throughout your life. So you need to weigh down the things. And yesterday I was going through a video which said that if we always look at the goal, let us say we look at the end destination, we are not looking properly in the way, so we are likely to fall. So just focus on the journey you are embracing, and not just the external goal, not just the end goal. And as you proceed doing your best in the present moment, you will have no regret later. And it's better to be without guilt than having a guilt that you couldn't uh, extract everything in that moment because you feared an uncertainty. So yeah.
That is completely, I agree completely. And the question that I wanted to get to is how to overcome anxiety and steer clear of the beauty standards that is portrayed on social media, and be yourself. So I want to divert this question to the woman in the panel, and then I'll put a male perspective on it later. Okay. Faiza ma'am, would you like to speak on that? How do you overcome the beauty standard which is portrayed on social media and be yourself? We have disconnected with Faiza ma'am, so Avni ma'am, if you could unmute. Yeah,
So, if you're asking about the beauty norm, which is set by some external agent, so
right.
you are which means that you believe that that is the beauty norm of that is something that you want to become. So see, so every person, if you see social media, everyone is very diverse. You will see, yesterday I was seeing some girl who was from Ranchi and who was doing comedy in the regional language, which many people are very afraid of even speaking, because people will term her someone coming from the village or something. But she broke all those stereotypes, and she is now very famous. People are following that person. People like you because you are real. So I would just give a small example from my life. So I am a person who always wear this kurti, salwar, and jhumka. So I am comfortable in this cloth. So once I was in Bangalore, and my friends called me, and they said that come to socials, but please behenji ban ke mat aana. That was their statement. That day I wore my Western clothes and I went there. But then I realized that why do I need to change myself to be the societal cool? Why cannot I become the definition of other kind of coolness? So what I did was, instead of I went there. I went to socials alone on a Sunday evening, and the entire socials was full, and the people were all in party clothes, and I was wearing my common normal attire. And earlier people were staring at me, but later they found out, as I started showing confidence, they started accepting me. There were a lot of people who came and talked to me. So beauty is how you carry your own self rather than how you appear externally. So the beauty standards are not set by social media. The beauty standards are never will never be set by social media, because everyone is different in one way or other. Now you will see a lot of bloggers coming up who are promoting hashtag dark skin, hashtag short height, hashtag this, hashtag that. So the thing is, every kind of person is beautiful. Beauty is beauty is there as long as we have diversity. Let us say we all start looking like me, like we would hate looking at each other, like every time you're looking at the same face. So beauty is something. Just one more example, like if you see a sculpture and you praise that sculpture, so are you praising the sculpture, or are you praising the artist? You are praising the person who made the sculpture, right? So we are someone who are designed by God, who is designed by a superpower. So once we think that we are not beautiful, we are not questioning ourselves, we are questioning his decision on what he thinks is beautiful. So so yeah, that is my take on beauty.
I agree completely. And Priyankar, would you like to comment on this? Because social media standards are quite high, and you're an influencer in your own right. So, what do you think about this?
Uh, Firstly, I would like to say the answer that Afni has given is absolutely correct. Like, I totally agree to that answer. But I'll bring a commercial aspect to it because she didn't talk about that, and I'll talk about that. Okay. Not even a single influencer you see, not even a single celebrity you see, not even one person who you admire to be beautiful or who you want to be like Katrina Kaif or any XYZ actor or actresses. If you see their real pictures, it's totally different from what they show it to you on social media or in movies or whatever. They're just commercializing the things so that they can sell their products to you, and they set a standard and they can generate business out of it. That's all it is. There is no there is no beauty standard in this world that exists for me, because every person is beautiful in their own way. Why do you love APJ Abdul Kalam? Every one of us loves him, irrespective of what his height or color or whatever personality, because he is beautiful as a person. So there is no set standard. See, any person who you admire is not because he's beautiful by face. is because of his skills, because of his personality, because of his aura that they carries with himself. That makes you beautiful. So be positive, be generous, have a giving attitude, and people will love you. You don't have to be 5'10" and fair looking and whatever it is. So there is no social standard. You just have to be good as a human being, and that's all it takes. That's it.
That's I completely agree. Even on the commercial aspect and what Avni ma'am also said, uh, bringing in my own experience of the social standard, and I have been a great admirer of the social standard set by social media for a long time until recently, and I have always thought that okay, the social standard is you have to look like this to feel good about yourself, and that is probably the biggest mistake that's where your anxiety comes from. That's whenever you look at somebody fit, or whenever you look at somebody who is performing according to the social standard, is what do you call it, who's performing according to the social standard, is being accepted. And I don't think that should be the norm. Rather, you should look in yourself and find things that you love about yourself. Avni ma'am kind of touched on this topic of uh, loving yourself, and continuously I know of this influencer that actually helps a lot of women look into themselves and love themselves for who they are. And one of the exercises that she recommends is every day tell yourself something that you love about yourself. It doesn't even have to be anything something um, physical is actually more easier when you're looking at things that you love about yourself. But it can be something that you're soft spoken, or you're kind to people, you've never insulted anybody, or you publicly never humiliate anybody, or you don't joke around with somebody's feelings. So these can be some of the things that you can tell yourself on a daily basis to really um, first to feel good about yourself, and second to change the definition of the social standard to you. When you start taking in some of these things, you really start changing the definitions, not just for yourself, for everybody around you. Then their opinion doesn't matter, because you have already made up your mind in yourself that okay, this about me is good, and I don't need anybody else to tell me that this is good or not. So that's my take on it.
Yeah,
um
just a small thing.
yeah.
Like if everyone has watched the movie Dear Zindagi, there is a small clip in that whereby Alia Bhatt is asking a guy that why did you start going seeking a counselor so that you can tell the world that you are a gay? So he tells that no, so that I can tell myself that I am this. So basically, the thing is, the people outside will stop bothering us the moment you realize that you are comfortable in your own skin. So instead
Yeah,
of seeking validation from others, be true to yourself, accept yourself as you are. And once you accept yourself, people will start appreciating you the way you are.
definitely. Definitely. We have another question, another 10 minutes, and we're going to close the discussion. If you have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. How to, there's one question for me. Um, what's the difference between mental health and mental illness, according to me? Okay, so mental health, according to me, is the overall, like, your physical health. Like, are you taking care of your physical health? That's your state of being. Your mental health is a state of being, whereas a mental illness is a disease that affects your physical physical being or physical well-being. So a mental illness is something that affects your mental health. So that's basically the difference. It's a small textbook definition, difference. So, does anybody have anything to add to that? I think I covered it.
So basically, mental illness is a subset of mental health. Mental
Yeah.
illness is a part of mental health. Mental health means how you are feeling, reacting, behaving at this particular point of time. So your mind being happy is also covered in mental health. But mental illness is something which is more closely related to the increase and decrease in various chemicals in your brain, so because of which the brain doesn't work at its full efficiency. So that is a particular aspect of mental health where your brain doesn't respond to the full efficiency because of some chemical disbalance.
I wanted to ask something. Can we say that mental illness is a negative term as related to mental health?
Mental illness is a negative term. No, you cannot say that because mental illness is a part of mental health. Mental health is, so let us say physical health. So now I am physically healthy. So being healthy is physical health. So let us say I have a broken arm. So that is my physical health at that point of time. So now being happy is my mental health right now. Being stressed was my mental health prior to beginning of this let us say seminar. I was little anxious, so that was my mental health then. Maybe 4 years back I had some chemical imbalances in the brain because of which I was on medication. So that was a phase when I was mentally ill. So everything is covered under the domain of mental health. So mental health can be positive and negative, as the physical health can be positive and negative.
Understood. Understood. That's a really great way of describing it. Somebody's asking, what is the solution for nightmares? Does anybody have a solution for this?
Yeah, so basically, dreams are you have dreams because there is something that you're constantly thinking about, or there is something which is stored in your subconscious from a very long time. It can also be certain things from the past life. So it can be a lot of things. It can be something, let us say you have exam in 1 month, so you will start seeing dreams like you have missed a paper, or you prepared a different subject and went to the examination hall. So dreams happen because at night the conscious mind takes a rest, and the subconscious dominates, and it starts showing you what you were thinking and registering all this moment. So one of a good way to get rid of bad dreams or something is prepare a night routine, like get off from the social media an hour before going to bed, brush your teeth, uh, have a sleep hygiene, and go to the bed. And initially, if you need it, you have various hypnotherapies on the YouTube. I'm not talking about hypnotics because people believe that hypnotherapy is hypnosis, जो ऐसे ऐसे करके सुला देते हैं. It's not like that. So hypnotherapy is a technique which rewires your subconscious. So a lot of people are very scared when I say hypnotherapy or something. So they are like that. No, I don't want to try that. So that what basically it does is when your subconscious mind come to the fourth, it just rewires the subconscious so that you start thinking in a different perspective. So according to me, you can develop a sleep hygiene and a sleep routine along with a hypnosis for confidence or hypnosis for positive life or any other such things.
Understood. Understood. Thank you, ma'am. And any more questions? Any more questions? Uh, if we don't have anything, I think we can wind it up. There's nearly 2 minutes. There's one question from Hardik. how to develop a thick-skinned attitude towards our goals. So, Priyanka, if you would like to start the discussion on that.
I would like to know more about thick-skinned attitude. What he actually means by that.
He's saying thick-skinned attitude towards our goal. I think he means how to stay focused like 100%. Um,
Uh, See, there are so many ways to do this. If you have a goal, how I do is basically uh, there will be a lot of challenges. There will be a lot of phases in your goal journey, like whatever your goal is. You'll There are things that will come and break you down, try to break you down. So what I do is basically I do reverse mapping for my goals. So if you have a particular set of goal that you need to achieve in 5 years, try to build a reverse mapping process for that. Think of it, what you will be doing 4 years from now to achieve that goal. What you will be doing 3 years from now to do that to achieve that goal. What you will have to do today. What you have to do next week. You have to break that big goal into a lot of smaller pieces, into a lot of smaller chunks, till the time you come to one day at a time. Take one day at a time. Do things that will take you closer to your goal, and never doubt. Times will be hard. There will be times when you think कि नहीं हो पाएगा यार बहुत मुश्किल है. But stick to that one thing. You have a goal, you have a plan, and stick to it. If if a need appears where you need to change the plan, you can change that plan. You can have
yeah.
mentors in your life. You can take counseling and guidance from people who are expert into those fields. But you need to have a solid why to go to that. So if I say thick-skinned attitude, be very very clear of your why and write it down somewhere in front of you. Whenever in the morning when you get up, that should be the first thing you see in the morning. What is my why? Why I'm doing this? What I want to achieve in my life? That's
That's a good answer, Priyanka. I think Hardik, what Priyanka has told you is step number one, and how that is going to work is that you need to have discipline and work ethic for that to work, and that will be your step zero. Developing a work ethic, developing a some discipline to whatever you're trying to achieve. So, being an entrepreneur, how I usually do it is I have a list of let's say 5 to 10 things that I would like to achieve in a day. And I know I'm going to achieve them because they're so simple and I need to do them every day. Like it can be something as simple as folding a blanket. Like that is a very powerful goal that you can set for yourself on a daily basis. You can achieve it on a daily basis. And the subconscious effect of achieving small goals on a daily basis is overall in the long run, you get habituated to winning. You get habituated to succeeding and achieving your goals. And you can keep one or two big goals in a day, of course, but don't keep the overall success rate of your daily routine dependent on that one or two important things that you need to get done. Rather something keep majority of your list, keep the majority of your goals in a day something really simple, like fold your blanket or brush your teeth for 2 minutes. I don't know. These type of things really do have, from personal experience, they have such an amazing impact on your mental health, on your day-to-day approach to things, that it definitely helps you in the long run. Okay, so I think it's time. I would like to conclude this session if anybody does anybody have anything to say? Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Yeah. Would you like to, would anybody like to volunteer a closing statement? Share your
Okay,
views on how the session was.
yeah. So I'll just like to share. So there would be two kinds of audience here. One who is going through something related to mental health, and others who are here out of an interest to know what mental health is. So someone who is going through the mental health, I'll just tell you one thing that from my own experience, that it's a phase. So everyone says that it's a phase, it will pass, and no one tries to really understand you. So just have that one motive in your mind that, okay, I am not getting a hope, so I'll ace this problem and I'll become that hope for 10 other people. So whatever difficulties you're facing, just keep in mind that you won't let it happen to others, and that is the reason you need to keep on working on it. And the others who are here who are not facing the mental health issue, so everyone says that I'll be there, I'll hear you, speak to me, call me. So while Sushant Singh Rajput died, everyone was their DP was, I'm here, call me anytime, and all those things. But are the people really there? Are you there when people call you and share their problems? You see their call, and you are like that, okay, dobara time waste karega, let's leave it. So you need to actually realize that not everything you can not everything which is happening is something you can see. You cannot get into the mind of person and see how the mental health is actually working. So be accepting, not just when a superstar dies, or not just when there's a very grave news. You need to realize that every 40 seconds a person is losing their life. So while we have ended the session at 60 minutes, so you calculate the seconds and the number of people who just committed suicide. So you need to be more gentle on the people who come to you with their problem. So be empathetic and not sympathetic. Help them out, and that is the best you can do. And the people who are going through it, I'll just say that keep on fighting and try to become that try to become that hope that you are needing at this point of time. So, yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. And I would like Priyanka and Faiza ma'am to also say a few words.
See, the time is going hard, and it's for everyone out there. Everyone is facing some or the other problem right now. You need to just understand that in life you cannot control a lot of things, right? There is this 80-20 principle where you cannot control all the things. So since you cannot control all the things, what you need to focus upon is how you respond to those things and how you adapt yourself, how you mold yourself according to the situation. Because there will be some or the other problem every time, every single time, every day in fact. Some will be small that will affect you, some will be big, some will be small that won't affect you much, but there will be bigger problems. So all you need to do is basically you need to practice the things that I've taught, that we have discussed here about meditation, about breathing, so that you can calm your head, you can think in a more positive manner, and ask for help. There are people out there, there are communities out there. In fact, our community is a great community where you can ask people, you can get to talk to people, right? You can ask for help. People are there to help you. And stay strong and keep fighting.
Thank you, Priyanka. That's some great words. Faiza ma'am, would you like to say a few words? Yeah, we're not able to get audio. No, we're not able to get your audio. Um, We can probably have. Hello. Yeah. No, it's not working.
Can I add something about meditation that Priyankar has said?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah. So, when you realize, no, our body is very unique. The exact opposite emotion emerge from the same place. For example, the when you have guilt, you feel something right in the inside your throat, and when you feel gratitude, you start feeling something at your throat. So two very opposite things are taking place at the same part of the body, and it's very easy to replace one thing over other via meditation. So now, whenever you are feeling any different, let us say that you are very happy and you are running everywhere. So your breath, so let us say there is a tiger, my breath will start increasing. Let us say I'm sitting in a very calm island, my breath will start decreasing. So that is how our breath is related to our emotion, and it is a two-way relationship. So now, if you control your breath, you can control your emotions. So meditation, in short, is that you can control your breath to control your emotion. So that is how our body is designed to address all the issues on their own. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. That was really helpful. And if they practice it enough, uh, out of the whole session, if you haven't gotten anything but take this one point away from you, control your breath, you can control your emotions, and everything will be. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Yeah, we just have Faiza ma'am. She has a message for you. Um, right. So, Faiza ma'am's last words for everybody over here is express your feelings, take care of yourself, solve one problem at a time, and respect your limits and seek help when needed. Completely agree and know that everybody is here to help all of you. And if you really need any help, please feel free to contact our Zeta community. We have a community on Telegram called Zeta, and you can just download Telegram and search for Zeta, and you'll be able to find our community. We have a lot of helpful people that are willing to help you out, and definitely they will do whatever they can and help that you. And last but not least, please feel free to follow our Instagram page. All the events updates, your certificates, and everything related will be communicated on Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube for more events and um, feedback form for your certificates. The link to the feedback form has been shared in the chat. If you're unable to see it, please respond in the chat so that our team can individually send you the link. Okay, then I would like to take a moment to thank all the panelists, everybody who was here. It was a wonderful discussion, and we have a lot of insights that will help a lot of people. And I'm just grateful for all the collaborators, for Ayushi, for Avni ma'am, Priyanka, and Faiza ma'am for tuning in and giving their precious time on Sunday. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us.
We look forward to working with you in the near future. And yes, that is all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Um, for all the event related details, you can either contact Ayushi or me via any of the channels. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. Feel free to get in touch with the team if you have any doubts related to your certificate. Your certificate will take time. Our team makes sure that your certificates are high quality and are delivered to your email address provided. Please be very careful when you're filling out your form and use your correct email address so that we can find you and send you those certificates as soon as possible. And over, take care. Stay. Bye bye.